Welcome to our channel. Before we get started, please consider liking and subscribing so we can bring more stories like this to you.
The scene opens on a stunningly picturesque frozen lake nestled among Norway's majestic mountains. The sun glistens off the thick layer of ice, creating a serene landscape that seems almost otherworldly. Majestic pine trees border the shore, their branches heavy with snow, and the air is crisp and clear, a stark contrast to the impending danger that brews beneath this glossy surface. This tranquil setting belies an insidious threat lurking just beyond sight. The quiet is shattered by the roaring engines of multiple SUVs, tearing down the slick, icy causeway. The tension mounts as shadows of malevolent figures emerge, clearly orchestrating a dangerous plot beneath the idyllic veneer. A gut-wrenching sense of foreboding wraps itself around the peaceful atmosphere. Danger has come to disturb this wintry paradise as evening approaches. The air grows colder, amplifying the emotions at play. Suddenly, chaos ensues when an SUV careens off the road and plunges towards the frozen depths of the lake. With every second that passes, the situation becomes increasingly dire. Water begins to seep into the vehicle, heralding a desperate fight for survival against nature's unforgiving grip as chaos reigns at the lake. We shift our focus to Jason Statham's character, a seasoned rescue operative renowned for his unwavering resolve and quick thinking in high-pressure situations. With a rugged exterior and a fierce determination etched across his face, he embodies the archetype of the modern hero. His past is rife with brave missions, where he has pulled countless lives from the brink of disaster, but it's personal stakes that truly fuel his relentless drive. Unbeknownst to many, Statham's connection to the kidnapped influencer runs deep. She is not just another face in the crowd, but someone whose friendship has weathered the storms of his tumultuous life. Memories of laughter and camaraderie flash through his mind, igniting a fierce urgency to act. He recalls the moments they spent together, often discussing dreams and aspirations under the stars, now overshadowed by peril. Dressed for action and equipped with a winch and diving gear, he moves with purpose, scanning the icy landscape for any sign of her SUV. The stakes have never been higher, compelling him to risk everything as he prepares to plunge into the depths of the frozen lake in a bid to save her. The peaceful scene at the icy lake is suddenly shattered as the gangsters make their move. Their SUVs roar to life, tires screeching against the frozen surface as they speed toward the influencer's vehicle. The sleek black SUV leads the charge, driven by a sinister figure who has meticulously plotted this ambush with calculated precision. They ram her SUV from the side, sending it careening off the icy causeway. Panic ensues inside the SUV as the influencer realizes her dire situation. Alarms blare and the world outside becomes a blur of white and darkness. The cold water begins to rise rapidly, creeping in through the cracks and enveloping her in a freezing grip. Time stands still as she struggles against the encroaching depths, desperately reaching for any escape, her heart pounding in sync with the chaos around her. Outside, the gangsters revel in their success, their laughter echoing across the expanse of ice. They remain unaware of the formidable force that is about to oppose them, as Statham's character, fueled by desperation and connection, gears up to confront them and save her from what now seems like an inevitable fate. Beneath the icy waters, inside the sinking SUV, the influencer fights against a growing tide of panic. The interior is dim, illuminated only by the weak light filtering through the icy water that seeps in through cracks, rapidly filling the cabin. Frigid droplets cascade down her cheeks as she gasps for breath, her heart racing with every splash that encroaches upon her space. Each passing second feels like an eternity as the reality of her predicament sinks in. The screams of terror barely escape her lips, muffled by the water and metal surrounding her. She frantically fumbles with the seatbelt, her fingers numb and clumsy as icy water rises to her waist, then to her chest. Visibility fades further with each gulp of air she takes, transforming the once familiar confines into a claustrophobic nightmare. The cold grips her like a vice, pulling her deeper into despair as thoughts of survival swirl amidst rising fear. Desperation claws at her throat as she realizes she might be running out of time. In this frozen darkness, hope feels fleeting, a fragile thread hanging on by a whisper, until she remembers that someone is out there fighting for her freedom, someone who won't let her drown without a fight. Jason Statham's character stands at the edge of the icy lake, his breath visible in the frigid air as he assesses the chaotic scene unfolding before him. Panic ignites his instincts, urging him to act swiftly. He races through his mental checklist, recalling every detail of his extensive rescue training and the tools at his disposal, spotting his diving gear nearby. He equips himself with a winch, its cold metallic weight reassuring in his grasp. With focused determination, he surveys the area, where the SUV disappeared beneath the ice. The echoes of laughter from the gangsters fade into a distant thrum as adrenaline sharpens his senses. He meticulously checks the winch mechanism, visualizing how he would use it to pull the influencer from danger. His mind races with strategies as he mentally maps out the underwater path he must take. He takes one last deep breath before plunging beneath the surface, the icy water enveloping him in an instant. Each kick propels him toward the submerged vehicle, and he pushes aside any thoughts of fear, driven by urgency and the deep-seated bond that compels him to save her against all odds as he plunges beneath the ice. Jason Statham's character is enveloped by the shockingly cold water, which steals his breath and heightens the urgency of his mission. The world above becomes a distant memory, a murky haze of sunlight filtering through the icy surface, while below him lies the daunting silhouette of the submerged SUV. Every instinct screams for him to surface, but he pushes through the freezing embrace, driven by a single thought. Time is running out with each stroke. Statham feels the biting chill seeping into his bones, amplifying his resolve. The cold water forces him to focus as adrenaline courses through his veins, intensifying each moment into an eternity. He spots the sinking vehicle just as panic rises within him. His mind rapidly recalls the winch strapped to his waist and how vital it will be in this precarious rescue. As he nears the SUV, visibility dwindles, obscured by swirling sediment and darkness. He steels himself against the encroaching fear and reaches for the windshield. Feeling its solid frame against his fingers, in that harrowing moment, he knows he must act swiftly and decisively. Every second counts in this fight against both nature and time. Jason Statham's character reaches the SUV, his heart pounding as he confronts the daunting task ahead. The icy water presses against him with relentless force, and he feels the current tugging at his limbs, threatening to pull him away just as he gets close with grim determination. He positions himself in front of the windshield, his breath hitching in his throat as he prepares to strike. Using the winch secured to his waist as leverage, he raises his fist and brings it down hard against the glass. The impact sends a shudder through him, but the windshield barely cracks. Gritting his teeth against the numbing cold, he delivers another blow, this time feeling a sharp pain radiate through his hand. The glass splinters just enough to create a jagged hole, and with one last powerful punch, the windshield gives way. Dark water rushes in, swirling around him as he fights to stay focused amid the chaos. He quickly reaches inside, feeling for the influencer's hand in the murky depths. Time slips through his fingers like grains of sand. Each second feels critical as he battles both freezing temperatures and his own rising panic. With steely resolve, he pulls her towards him, ready for a desperate escape from their watery prison. With a firm grip on the influencer's hand, Jason Statham's character feels a surge of determination as he prepares for their escape. The icy water swirls around them, but his focus sharpens, fueled by the urgency of their situation. He braces himself, drawing on every ounce of strength to pull her through the jagged opening of the shattered windshield as they begin to emerge from the SUV's claustrophobic confines. An ominous cracking sound reverberates through the water. Ice above them is beginning to give way, heart racing. He fights against the cold and the weight of water pressing in on them. With each powerful stroke, he pulls her closer to freedom, adrenaline coursing through his veins. Just as they break through the surface and gasp for air, shards of ice plummet around them, crashing into the water with thunderous echoes. Statham's resolve shines as he hoists her fully out of danger. Their heads finally above water as they cling to life amidst chaos. They share a fleeting look of relief and gratitude before he turns her towards safety. Their bond solidified in that harrowing moment beneath the ice. Together, they escape not just a watery grave but also a chilling reminder of how fragile life can be. As Jason Statham drags the influencer to safety, a wave of relief washes over them both. They emerge from beneath the icy surface, gasping for air as their lungs fill with the crisp, cold atmosphere above. The chaos of the submerged SUV fades into silence, replaced by the soft crunch of ice and snow underfoot. For a moment, time stands still. They exchange glances filled with gratitude and disbelief that they've escaped such a dire fate. The world around them feels surreal, the beauty of the frozen lake contrasting sharply with the terror they just faced. Statham's heart races not only from the adrenaline but also from the weight of what they have just endured together. He quickly checks her condition, his instincts as a protector kicking in. The influencer is shaken but alive, her eyes wide with shock yet sparkling with appreciation. In the distance, the gangsters stand frozen in disbelief at their failed plot, unaware that their plans have unraveled beneath the ice. With newfound strength and resolve, Statham prepares to lead her away from danger, knowing that their bond has not only survived this harrowing experience but has also forged an unbreakable connection between them as they step into a future filled with hope. As they stand together on the edge of the frozen lake, Jason Statham's character and the influencer take a moment to reflect on the ordeal they've just survived. The adrenaline begins to fade, replaced by a profound understanding of how their lives have intertwined. In the face of danger, their harrowing escape serves not only as a testament to their resilience but also as the foundation for an unbreakable bond forged in crisis. Meanwhile, the gangsters watch from a distance, their plans thwarted and their power challenged. It's clear that this failure will have repercussions. The icy landscape, once a beautiful setting for leisure, now feels like a battlefield where stakes have risen significantly. They realize the danger is far from over. Lurking threats remain, and there may be future encounters as they seek revenge or redemption. With newfound strength and determination, Statham vows to protect the influencer. Recognizing that their lives are now intertwined in more than just friendship, they share a mission to confront the shadows of the past. Together, they step away from the icy expanse, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead, knowing that they are no longer alone in their fight.